What really got me to finally lock in and start taking all this seriously, making money, actually start actually start moving the needle instead of just saying that I want to make money, instead of just saying I want to go to the gym, but like actually doing it consistently. It was a combination of factors. It wasn't just one thing, of course, but it was going through a lot of pain, plus actually watching a recent video by Gerber Johnson. I think it's a really good video. If you go to Gerbert Johnson's channel right now, and whatever day this was posted, I think this is August 8th or August 9th or whatever. Um, yeah, he made a video maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, I believe. So look for a video like that, August 5th, 2026 or whatever. And he talks about like the title of the video was something about like young men. Is it over for me or something like that? I'm running out of time, young men. That's basically like what his channel is about. And this video in particular really, really hit me, right? Because there's so many people, black pillars, or just people in general. Like, if you meet anybody, even if they're not even in that space, just meet any normal person after like the age of 24, 25, and they just think like their life is over. Not everybody, but like a majority of people, they talk in this way where they're demotivated, where they're tired of work, they're tired of their jobs, they're tired of their relationship, and like they've been through so much bad shit, right? It's almost talking to like a fucking, I don't even know, paintbrush on a fucking wall. It's like they sound super depressed, right? And like most people really think it's over for them. And like the second they hit like their mid 20s or whatever, they think it's over and they already lost so much time. They're so behind, they didn't live up their memories in high school, which your memories are usually just people drinking and smoking and hooking up with random people. I wouldn't say that's really great memories, but okay. And even if like what did you achieve doing that? Okay, anyway, side tangent, let's get into that later. Essentially, like it's not over for you just because you're in a bad situation and you're like 24, 25 years old. And now that's a lot of people say that's like a coping mechanism. Life is only great when you're young and whatever. And of course, life is like better when you're young. It's obviously better to do these things when you're like 18 or 19. But what are you gonna do, right? There's so many people like channels like Rehab Room, or like there's so many people in general who just like make the excuse of like, oh, I already lived my time. Oh, it's over for me, whether it be within looks or within like their social class or their money or their job or all these things, their family upbringing. I don't know, they went through a bad sick, they have a sickness or whatever. When they go through bad stuff, whatever, and they just like they say, end of the book, it's over for me. I'm just gonna be used to whatever my current situation is, and it's game over. And that's so stupid to me because let's say you're even at a disadvantage, right? Let's say I don't know, you're missing an arm or some shit, and you're like a low tier normie, and you're like 5'7", right? Again, like those are like some pretty bad fucking metrics, and the world is probably gonna be pretty shitty, right? I'm not saying that. Of course, the guy who has better stats when it comes to his looks or whatever, his family upbringing, his house or whatever, where he lives geography wise, obviously he's winning, right? But what are you gonna do? Like you don't have any other option, right, except to move forward. So you might as well make the most out of your 70 to 80 years of life and just go for it, right? Just because you're 24 and you missed some social milestones, or you didn't go to parties when you were younger, don't say like, "Oh, my life is over. I don't know how to socialize with women. I don't know how to socialize with people," right? It's like one of the stupidest things you could do, right? Because like, if you think about it, let's say you're 24 and you're, I don't know, working some shitty ass job, right? And maybe you had like one girlfriend or whatever, and like it didn't work out or some shit. And like, let's say you're like a mid tier normie, and let's say you're like 20% body fat and you have really bad genetics, or let's just give that as an example, right? Or let's say you're even doing well, right? But let's just say that, right? Do you understand how much can change in a year? Because in 1 year, when I got fully obsessed with something, when I fully gave my something my all, it was the gym at one point, bro. I became huge, huge in the gym, and like, of course, a lot of that's gonna be genetics, right? But if you give something your absolute all for a year, dude, that's insane. So let's say like, hey, I want to get really good at talking to women. And for like one whole year of your life, you just like completely get addicted and like talk to every single like woman that interacts with you in your life, and just like study like every single book about her, watch like Zerka, watch all these different like philosophies about like women and all this stuff. And like, I don't know, you go on a bunch of different dates with like, I don't know, 10, 20 different women. Bro, you're gonna lap so many people who don't even think about stuff like that. And of course, it's like a really weird thing to do, right? Like, most people don't have to do that. Most people just like live their lives meet people in high school, and like that's how they get better at, let's say, talking to women, for example. But also like most people, just get like a 80K a year salary, right? Most people have like an okay girlfriend who cheats on them, or most people. It's like you're not most people, right? So just because like you were like maybe stunted previously when you were younger doesn't mean like it's just game over for you. Find a different way out, right? I have a good friend of mine. It's actually like pretty interesting. He's this dude has like great stats, right? This guy's like a high tier normie, really good looking guy. He's Asian. He is has like 4.0 GPA high school. He's well rounded. Yeah, overall well rounded guy. Went to like a great college and is now going to be making like 200K a year in a software job. And this guy does not know anything about talking to women. He's 22 and he's like a virgin or whatever. And like he always comes to me on the phone because like I'm the only person he's ever told, because like he knows that like I don't judge people in that way, but other people would, of course. I like the average person will, like, unconsciously, right? And like I was like, and he's like, "What's wrong with me? Am I just neurodivergent?" This guy isn't even neurodivergent. It's just like he just didn't achieve that milestone, right? And it's like, dude, like, and he's like, why did this happen to me? Like, why do I need to do this? Like, I'm thinking about just like a cold approaching like 1,000 people, 1,000 girls a day. And like, most people don't have to do stuff like this, but like, why is it that I have to do something like this? And I'm like, okay, do it. You know what I mean? He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it might be weird. Like 99.9% of people, if they hear that you did that, they're gonna think you're like fucking bananas or whatever. But if that's what it takes, I mean, you're obviously a smart guy. You obviously go to an Ivy League school. You obviously have a 4.0 GPA. You're obviously intelligent. You're friends with, I'm not saying that to my own horn, but you're good friends with me, and I think I'm pretty competent. I think you're a pretty interesting dude, and you're good looking and all this stuff. And if you can't get to that goal, then find another way out, right? Just because when a dog loses its leg, does the dog stop walking? No, it gets used to the fact that there's not a leg there. But what with humans, what we do is when we lose something, when we lose a girlfriend or when we lose a family member or whatever, we start sulking and we lay in our beds. And of course, I'm saying that of course you should be sad, right? It's like the grieving process, but you got to move on. It's like in Meet the Robinsons, the best quote: "Keep moving forward." There's no other option for you. It's either success or failure, and why not try as hard as you can to succeed with this 80, 90 years of life? Why not just live it to the fullest? Whether it be partying all the time or whether it be whatever, becoming successful and helping your children and family, which is one of the most best things you could possibly do, in my opinion. And keep your last name strong. So I guess where I'm getting at is it's genuinely like not over for you. And people who say that are like so stupid, right? There's always a way out. Commit yourself to one thing for one entire year. I recommend it being your finances, because that's going to move the needle the most, right? Because then that could, once you have money, you could pretty much get better at most stuff, right? Like you could improve your health by getting like great doctors, you could improve your looks by getting surgeries or soft maxes, and you could improve your gym by getting personal trainers. Like that's pretty much going to fix like most of the stuff, right? Um, yeah, so just dial in on that. You know what it takes for a whole entire year to like learn how to make money? And like people are gonna be like, oh, I just didn't figure it out. I tried to make money online. Everybody says make money online, but I couldn't figure it out. I was looking at passive income, I was looking at drop shipping, I was looking at crypto, and I lost like $3,000. It's like, bro, I used to never believe this. And I used to think like anybody who like people used to say like I used to think like the people who made like 15K a month online or 20K a month, that was like the max you could make online. You're not digging hard enough. Because when you dig hard enough, you'll realize there's teenagers making 100K in profit a day, a day. And you're probably gonna think that's like the 0.1% of people. There's no way people are actually doing that. Like you need to be like a super genius to do it. Dude, these people, these teenagers, they're not smarter than you. They just went through so much pain, went through so much shit, and they also thought that it was over for them. They kept pushing, and then boom, and they escaped eventually. That's it.